Imagine living with a peace so deep that nothing external can disturb it. Not criticism, not betrayal, not the chaos swirling around you. This isn't about becoming emotionless or cold. It's about reaching a state where you're untouchable, not because you're unreachable, but because your stability comes from within, not from how others treat you. The ancient Stoics understood this truth, and modern neuroscience confirms it. You have the power to become emotionally sovereign. Most people spend their lives reacting. A harsh word derails their entire day. An argument replays in their mind for hours. They've handed their peace over to others, never realizing they're the ones holding the key to getting it back. The moment someone disrespects you or disappoints you, you feel it. That's human. But the real question is, does it control you? Does it reshape who you are? Here's what changes everything. It was never them. The person who hurt you, the comment that stung, the silence that felt like rejection. None of it has power over you unless you give it power. Your suffering doesn't come from what happened. It comes from what you believe about what happened. Two people can experience the same rejection, and one moves forward while the other spirals for weeks. Same event, different internal story. You might think your pain is coming from their rudeness or their betrayal, but dig deeper and you'll find something else entirely. Beneath the reaction is an old wound, an unexamined belief about yourself. Maybe you believe you have to be perfect to be worthy. Maybe you carry the fear that if someone rejects you, it means you're fundamentally flawed. These hidden agreements with yourself, these invisible contracts, they're what actually run the show. You weren't born reactive. Somewhere along the way, you learned these patterns. Maybe someone taught you directly that your worth depends on performance. Maybe you absorbed the message that vulnerability equals weakness. These lessons became your operating system, running quietly in the background, directing your responses without your permission. But here's the liberation. What was learned can be unlearned. The first step is awareness. When something triggers you, pause and ask, what part of me is responding right now? Not from an angry place, but with genuine curiosity. What belief am I protecting? What fear is rising? This question alone can shift your entire relationship with your emotions. You stop seeing them as enemies and start seeing them as information. Your anger is pointing to where you still feel powerless. Your anxiety is showing you where you still crave control. Your hurt is revealing what matters to you. You are not your emotions. This is perhaps the most transformative realization you can have. When anger rises, you can feel it fully without becoming it. When fear surfaces, you can acknowledge it without believing its story. There's a difference between I feel angry and I am angry. The first gives you space. The second merges you with the feeling, and suddenly you're doing things the angry version of you would do. Practice this. In the moment when you feel triggered, take one breath. In that breath, ask yourself, who is observing this feeling? You'll discover there's a part of you that's watching the reaction. That watcher is calm. That watcher is clear. That watcher has choices. The more you practice stepping into that observer position, the less your emotions control you. This is disidentification, the art of separating from your emotional reactions and becoming the conscious witness to them instead. The Stoics had a powerful practice. They distinguished between what's in your control and what isn't. Your reputation, not fully in your control. Other people's opinions, not your responsibility. How someone interprets your words, beyond your power. What is in your control? Your effort, your intentions, your character, how you respond. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, something remarkable happens. Your anxiety drops. Your obsessive thinking quiets. Your peace returns. This means letting people be wrong about you. It means allowing others to misunderstand without needing to explain or correct. It means accepting that sometimes people will mistreat you, despite your best efforts. None of that defines you. Your response defines you. Your ability to stay grounded while others lose their footing. That's where your real power lives. Between any trigger and your response, there's a space. In that space lives your freedom. Most people rush right through it, reacting on autopilot. But when you pause, even for just one conscious breath, everything changes. You give yourself time to feel the emotion without being commanded by it. You create space for wisdom to arrive instead of just reflexive anger. The sacred pause isn't about suppressing how you feel. It's about not letting the first impulse be your only option. Between any trigger and your response, there's a space. In that space lives your freedom. Most people rush right through it, reacting on autopilot. But when you pause, even for just one conscious breath, everything changes. You give yourself time to feel the emotion without being commanded by it. You create space for wisdom to arrive instead of just reflexive anger. The sacred pause isn't about suppressing how you feel. It's about not letting the first impulse be your only option. When you stop reacting from old patterns, you start writing something new. You stop being the echo of every harsh word you've ever heard. You stop playing out roles written by fear, ego, or childhood defense mechanisms. You start living from choice, and people around you will feel the difference. They'll notice you don't flinch the way you used to. You're not baited by sarcasm or passive aggression. You don't need to win every interaction. You've stopped chasing closure from people who can't even give it to themselves. Sometimes you'll let a misunderstanding go. Not because you're defeated, but because you've chosen peace over performance. That's emotional authorship. That's power. And here's what's even more beautiful. When you start living this way, your presence becomes medicine for yourself and for others. You give people permission to slow down, to reflect, to drop their guard. Your stillness reminds them that maybe they don't have to keep playing the same roles either. The most important thing to understand is that this journey isn't about becoming cold or detached. It's about becoming real. It's about being able to feel deeply without being controlled by what you feel. When something stings, you acknowledge it. When something disappoints you, you sit with that disappointment. But you don't turn it into a story that defines you. You don't let one moment reshape your entire self-image. Let your triggers teach you. Let them expose your edges. Let them show you the parts of yourself still holding on to old beliefs, old insecurities, old reactions. And then each time you feel that familiar spark of irritation or pride or panic, pause. See it as a bell ringing at the start of a new set. Your moment to lift, to choose, to become who you say you are. This is emotional strength, quiet, steady, built in the moments no one sees. When you pause instead of snapping, no one throws you a parade for staying silent when you could have erupted. The final level of this journey is when you stop needing the world to be different for you to be okay. You don't need everyone to agree with you. You don't need every conversation to end perfectly. You don't need constant reassurance that you matter. You know who you are, independent of anyone's validation. And from that place of inner knowing, you move through life with a steadiness that can't be shaken. This is what it looks like to be truly free. Not free from life's difficulties, but free from needing to react to them in the same exhausting ways. Your peace isn't dependent on your circumstances improving. It's rooted in something deeper. Your awareness, your choices, your alignment with your values. That's a peace the world cannot disturb. The world will keep pulling at your edges. People will still cut you off mid-sentence. They'll still talk behind your back, misread your intentions, fail to apologize, choose ego over honesty. Life will still throw things you didn't plan for. Late nights, early calls, broken trust, sudden losses. The noise won't stop. The chaos won't dissolve. But if you've mastered what we've been building toward, you won't shake. Because the point was never to change the world. The point was to change how you move through it. When the world pulls at your edges, remember this. Your strength is not in how loudly you react. It's in how quietly you remain centered. Let them shout. Let life twist. You are not here to match the storm. You are here to master your calm. You don't need to prove yourself in every interaction. You don't need to chase every lost perception. You can let people think what they think because you know who you are. The unshakable mind isn't built through comfort or ease. It's built through practice. Through choosing awareness over reaction, again and again, through disidentification, through compassion, through discipline. It's built in the sacred pauses, in the moments you choose not to speak, in the times you let someone be wrong about you, without needing to correct them. Every single one of those moments is a brick in the foundation of your peace. You are ready for this. Something in you knows it's time. The fact that you're here, reading these words, means some part of you recognizes that your old patterns aren't serving you anymore. Some part of you is ready to reclaim your power. And that readiness, that awareness, is exactly where transformation begins. Start today. Start with one moment, one choice to observe instead of react, and watch how everything begins to shift.